this RH Jam, we discussed the flow from intention to manifestation, the possible reasons we're not seeing our wishes coming true. And to help us shed some light on this, Jillian Fleer, head co-instructor with Dr. Eric Pearl and head of development and insight through the Reconnection, will help shine a light on the language of reconnective healing and manifestation. Let's say hello to Jillian. She's waiting. Hi, Jillian. Excellent. So, without further ado, I'd also like to let you know that we're going to take a quick peek at our all-Spanish Bogota Colombia Catalyst event team. All of this coming up in the RH Jam. And welcome back. I am Ana Clavell, and if this is the first time with us, the RH Jam is a weekly program about topics that are important to you and important to us as well. This is how we love to share our findings, our discoveries of what reconnective healing is. Not only that, we also like to find out about what are the things you'd like to share with us. And I want to share with you right now the screen in which I have the chat. I'm going to look here in my chat line. And I'd like you to know that we are constantly looking at what you want to share with us. So please, go ahead, put your questions, your comments. I'm here to find out what is it that you guys would like to talk about. Alrighty. And, very importantly, if you want to know more about the RH Jam, I'll ask you that all you need to do is like this video, subscribe to this channel, and that way you'll never miss a live event from the Reconnection via our amazing YouTube platform. And let's move on to our topic of the day. Why can't I manifest what I want in my life? All right, manifestation and intention. Intention. Here is my own discovery of intentions. I have a short attention span. I admit it. I've mentioned it before. I try to meditate. It is something that immediately my mind starts wandering. I find myself having to reel myself back in and getting focused with it. Anytime I set out an intention to do things that I feel are going to be beneficial to me, I find myself I end up derailing it somehow. It's like there's another mechanism in me that starts as a teeny weeny little voice that says, do you really want to be doing this? And maybe another little voice starts happening. But maybe there's another way to do it. Maybe this is too hard and too complicated. So I then go into the A to B way of thinking, while all authorities and peoples of much major wisdom than mine, right? And my discoveries are on a day-to-day basis, keep telling us that to get an intention to become real for us, we need to be focused as this amazing woman is with her arrow in this picture that I have here for you. Thank you to my amazing Reconnection team, social media and content execution and creation, Madison Holland and Taylor Holland, for this great collection of images, because what I find is that intention needs the full cooperation of your mind. And my mind refuses most of the time to cooperate unless it's really intrigued about it. And that's something I want to just mention briefly, because we recently at the Reconnection did a complete research into what are the things that seem to be impeding the process that we find now so commonplace. We all talk about mind to matter, manifest the life that you live, that you love to live. We hear about the law of attraction. We hear about all these things, and guess what? They are all real. Yes, manifestation is real. But for this little part of the program, I just want to focus just a teensy-weensy bit on the whole aspect of what intention is. Now look at this great graphic. It has the starting point for an intention is the focus of your mind, your entire thought process, and with it all the emotions that go into backing what is it that you want to manifest. There it is. The ideal world has both the intention of the mind and the manifestation happening, because you are so intent on getting something that is meaningful to you, whatever that may be. You know, manifestation is more than wealth, health, happiness. It can be just anything. And I want to share something very important and interesting by Mr. Scott Young. He created this graphic in a second, and I'll show it to you right now, that gives us an inkling about some of the reasons that the intention may not be coming to fruition if you are perhaps a little bit like me. That you have a great intention that you're going to get up on time every day and you're going to do a certain amount of things, but the reality is that when it happens, these little voices start acting up, you start hitting the snooze button, like the first little graphic. This is a great little set of drawings, by the way. Scott Young, great job on this. What if you said about your job? You have grand plans for your job. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change careers. I have amazing aptitudes to show to the world. Slowly and surely, things start happening that start pulling you away from what you thought was your intention. So let me ask you then, what exactly is it that we need to do to keep that intention on track and focus as we expected, needed, wanted to be to get what we want manifested in our lives? So Jillian is going to tell us a little bit more about this because she has had ample research time, not only on her own, but also talking to experts on the subject, and she'll be joining us to tell us a little bit about it. But first, I'd like us to meet quickly our Bogota team. Guys, I've had so many notes from you out there who are bilingual, and I just wanted to make sure that people knew out there that as the Reconnection evolves, we are in this expansion and evolution of how we share our knowledge of reconnective healing with the world. One of the things that have happened is that a very select group of teaching, or members of our international teaching team, have been authorized by Dr. Eric Pearl and Jillian Fleer to start leading all these catalyst programs around the world. And I just want to point out this one happening in Bogota, Colombia, in just a week and a half. So guys, if you speak Spanish, this is the place to be, because it's going to be the only one in South America in 2019. The leaders of this teaching team put together especially for this program are co-director of the international team, Guillermo Poli, and Carlos Vélez, both so experienced in teaching the course. I myself have benefited because I have had the grace and the privilege of being in the same classroom with them. The experience is amazing. They are accessible, down to earth, and not only that, it's going to be all in Español. So guys, if you want to find out more information about it, I've put a link at the bottom here in the description. You just click on it and it'll take you right to find out more about this amazing program. So let's go back to now manifestation. Manifestation. So we talked a little bit about intention. I told you a little bit me. I cannot confess what I said that I am with intention. One of the things in the multiple studies that we did in trying to research just pitfalls that we find for ourselves is that we are able to manifest anything. It is absolutely correct. It is true. Anything. We create our reality. But here's the catch. You need to be interested in it. Your brain needs to be intrigued enough that it will continue to focus on it and continue to be learning. Because the moment it starts losing its attention on it, it's almost like you start, I don't know, learning to play the piano. You stop for a few months because you discover the guitar. You come back to the piano. It's like back to the beginning. It's not like you start an intention and stop it halfway and you come back to it and it's like, oh, where I left it. No, for the brain, for the mind to be in truly in that attention, it needs to have a continuum. So what provides that continuum for manifestation? And I love this graphic too. Thank you, team. This person is doing this extreme effort to manifest, I don't know, a beautiful reality for himself or herself. But it's a non-gender creature person there. That's the thing. If if our mind is not in line with wanting to do these things, it just it loses what it learns as well. It is it is something that it's vexing, has vexed a lot of experts out there. They're amazing teachers of mind to matter and intention manifestation, but it's something that anybody who is in the path to create their own reality have encountered. And that's why I want to welcome right now Jillian Fleer, because she has some really choice things to share with us. And welcome, Jillian. How are you?
Hi, Ana.
Hi.
Covered amazing ground here. I'm actually not sure that in any way I'm going to be an expert in the area of intention or manifestation, but I'm really excited about exploring it. I want to touch on this idea because you sort of are focused in this moment on talking about manifestation. And, manifestation has its origins in religion and spirituality, because if something spiritual becomes real, it's said to be a manifestation. So the word's usage has sort of spread into all these aspects of life. And I want to be thoughtful and transparent about, really when we think about manifestation, it is an exhibition. It is our emotions, or I'm going to say a feeling, becoming theoretically real. And again, we got to remember that our experience is defined by the mind. So I'm so glad that you've been kind of sharing that. It was an amazing little cartoon description too. But the mind is where we experience. So since our perception is constantly changing, let's talk about intention here for a moment, because intention for me sometimes makes me in tension. and I use that lovingly because, we talk about being supernatural and we talk about being really superhuman. And so intention as sort of this space immediately thrusts us into an aim or a purpose or a goal or a target. I love the graphic that you used of the bow, because obviously we're aiming at something when we have an intention. And, I can speak just very personally. I have a really busy life, and I'm so committed to our purpose and our mission to bring reconnective healing onto the planet. But I also have a turning 30-year-old son, and I have friends, and I have 5 total, but 4 brothers and sisters, and I have this life. And so when I start to kind of focus on intentions for whatever they may be, things in my personal life, things that have to do with the reconnection or the team or the just all things we are involved in, sometimes I find myself creating that special little box. And there are all these intentions going into that special little place so that I can focus, right? And bring the mind to cooperate. And I find often that I've left the space of where I really become the fullest aspect of my ability to bring anything into existence in the field, because my thoughts are somewhere else. So if your intentions are highly dependent upon your thoughts, it is a very disciplined activity. You definitely are set up wonderfully to set goals, because yes, we are becoming quite proficient in going from mind to matter. This is absolutely part of I'm going to say, the quantum mechanics that neuroscience is so beautifully defining for us. And so it's a tool. And let's be clear, we want tools. We want to use tools in our life, but we need to be realistic and know that manifestation or intention in this way has a formula to it. It is a technique and a formula that we have to follow with a lot of thought. So what I want to just notice in my own daily life is that one day I may be feeling very on track and with tremendous amount of focus, but my perception about something might change. And obviously perceptions are constantly changing. So if I'm fully committed to that intention, and I'm focused on the formula itself, without the breath, without the, I'm going to say, awareness, just pure awareness of the being of that much more expanded part of myself. When we are in thoughts and emotions, we are not thinking. We have to kind of squeeze ourselves into a smaller capsule in order to be in a thought and emotion. And they're important because sometimes we need to step away from thinking. But that isn't a place where we're in growth. Emotions and feelings are not a growth space. They are a space for us to explore, and they are a place for us to feel. And feeling is really, really key. But at the same time, we can lose sight of the changes that are happening, because change is always happening. And we may not be perceiving even that has already come into form, already established itself, because we're sort of locked in a want, an aim, a goal, manifestation as well. It's an emotion or a feeling of something theoretically becoming real. So we have a tool, and it's becoming a part of the I'm going to say the expansion of what we can do to make our daily lives more productive, more well-rounded in the feeling and emotional space. They are tools to really help our personal development. And I'm going to say that's a huge step for us. Even meditation allows us to really step into a feeling space and allow our emotions and our perceptions to become sort of realigned. And then there's more. Then there's this more. And I want to talk about what is that little piece of more. If we can define our capacity to really work with this mind, that our brain is becoming more and more, I'm going to say, studyable. It's something that there's a great focus around, and we can really bring a lot of attention to the knowledge, just like every good system or formula, of how to work with our thoughts. And because an emotion and a feeling ultimately becomes an experience, we want to then ask, once we have that kind of organized, and we know that's a daily consistent practice, no matter what it is, even bringing ourselves back into health in a serious way. Maybe we're able to use the process of mind to matter and really move the symptom. Manifestation is a symptom into a higher, more harmonic space and place, and our cancer disappears, our psoriasis goes away, our depression. So that has a beginning and an end, but it is absolutely part of resolving the symptom. So the more may be when we are comfortable in the paradigm of the mind. We can glimpse more easily out of what we'll call the set aim or goal. It's when the bow bends, that flexibility in the bow is what allows us to actually be in our humanness, to be in that space where we're not going to get everything right, but something in the bow, the flexibility of us in our biological body, in our physiological body, something cares for us at a greater level than even the mind. And the heart plays an integral part. We know that the heart certainly is able to perceive, even, I'm going to say, more rapidly than our thoughts. It may be the brain stem of every aspect of our embodiment. But then there's more. And the more comes when we find some level of awareness and comfortability with getting out of the way and maybe entertaining the idea of receiving. A ultimate state where we are there to receive that we cannot control, where there is no intention, there is no manifestation that we are directing, again, for something to appear real to us, theoretically, and to be real for us in the emotional bandwidth, but something that exists in the force of that which has created everything. And I know that for many of us, the concept of God or concept of love or universal consciousness is hugely important right now. I just saw Burning Man announce that the 2020 theme is multidimensional. It is being multidimensional. And reconnective healing, I think, came into existence, this intelligence. I call it a superpower. And it has tangibly made itself here, known, and receivable by us. It's not something that we direct. It's not something that we tell what we want. It is received in a way that allows us to simply observe and notice that we cannot create through a manifestation or intention with our mind or even our perception, for it to orchestrate on our behalf. Maybe in the place that we exist, that we're getting closer and closer to glimpsing into, which is our essence. The essence of us that lives multidimensionally, that is the idea, both practically and maybe in the actual quantum definition now of oneness itself. So this field of energy, light, and information that is scientifically known as reconnective healing is the space that we begin to explore that more. It doesn't engage our thinking mind. It doesn't mean we're not thinking, but as we receive it, something in its engagement doesn't seem to qualify the manifestation, the intention-based structure that we move through when we're developing something to aim at. It doesn't seem to be distracted in any way or considerate. So here we have this force, this superpower that we can receive that might be calculating the architecture of our harmony, balance, awareness in everything that we have defined as our want, desire, emotionally and on a feeling level, and that which we don't have the capacity through the mind to perceive. And so I'm excited that this is a topic of conversation for us, because I do believe in this very complex, technology world that we are living in. Artificial intelligence is really trying to capture for us our wants and our needs by coding that emotional track that we define as being kind of the totality of what we are, and our feeling track, which we live in often as the totality of our possibility. And so we don't want to lose sight of perhaps what goes beyond those mechanisms, because in very short order here, there will be technology to support even an emotional or feeling range that we might not be able to get to on our own, just through all of these intentions that we're setting. And so I hope in some way we begin soon to explore both the accolade that we should be feeling about our ability to really capture mind to matter, to be in charge of our checked and unchecked emotions, which is very important. We don't want to make big decisions in a emotional state that isn't checked. And also recognize that thinking is an important part, because we need also to be able to know our direction or plan in many segments of our life, but those are segments. And we know that a beginning and an end segment just creates another beginning and an end segment. So once we have that together, I'm desiring so much for us to feel the quantum freedom to really become the multidimensional being that I'm fairly certain with Reconnective Healing on this planet for the last 25 years, we were created at some very special moment, which is a process that's been coming in great scope to step onto, to make that our next frontier, to embrace the multidimensional part, which says, I can manifest and I can intend, and that is going to bring a certain result and a certain goal-oriented focus to a wonderful realization for me and perception for me. But what if there's even more that I am capable of receiving simply in the receivership space that will architect even greater than what I can direct, control, aim, really, 20/20 vision with all the discipline and all of the focus I am able to have in my very sophisticated brain matter. What if there's more in my existence in this daily life that I lead that I can be in a wonderful partnership with? So I'm kind of feeling that the idea of receiving and receivership is the first part we need to explore. We need to look at our perceptions around how do we feel about engaging in something where it's one directional, meaning we engage with it because we simply allow receiving to be the primary component of the activity. And again, then we get to explore this phenomenology, this greater force, this superpower that's tangible, meaning in reconnective healing, we can feel it and we can move with it in an expressed sensorial capacity. So that's good. It isn't needing to be cultivated in our imagination, and allow ourselves to be in that awareness and become much more proficient and much more excited about allowing it to architect and present a piece of our eternal truth and our eternal essence that we perhaps have not had access to up until now, or until perhaps this moment. A great, exciting next frontier, I'm going to say, in our human evolution together.
Jillian, I have to say, it's so true what you said about giving space to our emotions and our feelings, and how to create how that space, making decisions from those points of views, can be some of the things like I was explaining before Reconnective Healing, all these little voices that start coming in, and they start actually becoming the main perception of whatever it is that we want to change in our lives, whatever that looks like. I have to say that since I've learned Reconnective Healing, being able to be in the flow of that unilateral communication, it has created for me, and I'm sure anybody who has touched Reconnective Healing, has been touched by Reconnective Healing, might have something to share with us about this, right? But it creates in me, it allows for me to be in such a beautiful flow in which I can feel these emotions, I can see them, I kiss them, and I'm able to let them go. And I grow from them. And at the same time, I can see the mind's desires and the wants and the needs. And at the same time that all of this is happening, because this is something very important that Jillian has just said here with us, is this works outside of time and space, okay? So time really is a concept that is all here. and it's sequential in our bodies as our cells understand sequential time. But in the space of reconnective healing, I can personally say, Jillian, that becomes that whole aspect of manifestation. It's an immediate thing. It is in collaboration with something much deeper, bigger, more, as you said. It is more. Now, I mentioned learning reconnective healing, and I'm just going to let everybody know you are going to be co-heading the training program in Palm Springs, the Catalyst, this December. Is that so? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're excited. We're going to be back at the beautiful Riviera Resort and Spa in Palm Springs, and we love this destination. It's going to be wonderful because it's December time, and it just couldn't be more exquisite weather. And this Catalyst program is really evolving. We are exploring themes in the, again, reconnective healing, and this intelligence is communicating from this realm of it's already happened. So as Ana just explained, to be able to sort of understand daily life in space-time and simultaneously be in this sort of multi-track of really knowing that you're in the engagement with this that is happening from the realm of it's already happened, it's already a victory. This is the, I'm going to say, the focus of this Catalyst gathering. And simultaneously, we're going to also have our alumni Ignite track going on at the same time. So we're really stepping up, I'm going to say, both on an experiential level, on a philosophy level, but on a interactive level. This program in December is going to be really off the charts. I'm excited about it. And so is Eric, and so is our teaching team. And so we hope we'll see some of you there.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody's invited. And as I said, I've always say, we have links here in the description. Just click away, find out more information. I also want to let everybody know that Dr. Eric Burrow and Jillian Fleer will be live at an event in Palm Springs, not this weekend, but the weekend after, on October 26th. If you're in the area, I put the link here in the descriptions. Go check it out. Jillian, we're out of time. Any last thought that you want to share with us?
I just am excited about the RHTM, Ana. You really are rocking our world, and I love how you're bringing just everything current, really keeping people around the globe up to speed on who we are, where we are, what we're about. It's a special community to be a part of, and thank you for just bringing such a fun and loving light to this program.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me. I was honored to be asked to hang out with you.
I loved it, and you're definitely coming back, by the way, because I can tell people are loving it. I want to tell you that we have Marianne, we have Lexi, we have Frank. Frank is telling us he can't wait to see us all in Palm Springs. Alejandro has a quick question. Can you teach us a simple exercise we can do daily to help us manifest? Okay, you know what, Alejandro? That's a wonderful question. But because we're out of time, we're going to ask Jillian to maybe you can record something for us for our next program, and we'll put it here.
Love to.
Excellent.
Love to.
Alejandro, taken care of. That's how quick and fast we're around here.
Well, one key thing, Alejandro, receive.
Receive.
That wonderful space and just receive. Okay? Love you.
Mwah.
Bye.
All right. That was our amazing Jillian Fleer. So really quick, because we really are out of time, I just wanted to leave you with some amazing thoughts to take with you after this little program of ours. And I want to thank Corey Redstone, who wrote the amazing, and I said amazing not twice, would that be three? That would be 3 times now. Amazing blog, that would be 4 times, on intention and manifestation. And I've put the link right here below as well. Go check it out. But based on what we've said today, here are some things for you to take with you. First, accept yourself as you are. You start by getting to know who you really are. And then from there, you start to see the things that are truly meaningful to you, not what you think are meaningful to you, not what other people say should be meaningful to you. It needs to start by that acceptance of everything you are. Another thing, Pay attention to what your instinct tells you. That your instinct is always communicating with you in spite of all the craziness that goes on through our minds. Our minds are kinetic, they're always in motion, always thinking, always finding points of attention because that's their job, right? Our instinct, it cuts through it and shows us opportunities, and it shows us other things that otherwise we might miss. Like we mentioned in a previous RH Jan, where we talk about opening the portal, we miss all these other, this larger panorama of what is out there. And as Jillian said, you get then focused in that perspective of what is it that you want, then it's not as easy to stay away from the mixture of feelings and thoughts about what is that you really may be meaning to have for yourself. Here's another one I want to share with you. Favor, life purpose, over intentions. The intentions can be fickle, can be changed. Like Jillian said, her perception of something that she was intending to do changes throughout the day. So whichever time it comes for you and it blooms, it flourishes for you, it may not even be exactly what you wanted anymore. When you know your life's purpose, when you know it, then all this, the entire interaction with what we might call intentions works on a completely different level. Here's a simple one, is let go of your expectations. I know it sounds opposing to intention and manifestation, but when you are fixated on expectations, again, you may not be allowing for the entire set of possibilities to come through for you, and you may actually be just trying to force on a reality that may not be the one that ultimately, at your core, is what you really wanted for yourself. Manifestation has already taken place. And being in the reconnective state of flow allows us to receive it. Receivership, receiving, allowing ourselves to receive is ultimately the true essence of being in that flow of intention or manifestation. When we know it is, it already is. But I encourage you to go and read the entire blog. I'll put the link right here below. And we're moving on, yes, sadly, once again, to our last minute. I want to leave you again with the recommendation for signing up for a free audio narration by Dr. Eric Pearl. Link is below. Thank you, Martin Haley Jr., for that amazing link we've had. I want to thank the entire Reconnection team. We'll be back next week at 11:30 a.m., same day, but with now a different topic clearly, and an extra something from Jillian Fleer. Until then, much love to all of you. And thank you for joining us at the RH Jam.